So that's it. That's where I'm going to end, and I'm going to leave Dominic to talk about the fancy stuff you can do on top of these two Node projects. But are there any questions?
Does it support MapReduce?
Dominic will talk about that. Yes, it does. Dominic's the MapReduce man. But natively it doesn't. It's just a key value store with iterators. But the whole point of this, and the reason that I started with a quote from Dominic actually, it's the Node.js of database. It's because LevelDB is just the basic storage with some really nice features. And in Node, we're following the Node approach of we're just going to keep the basic bit basic, and we've got this ecosystem building of plugins that you can extend it. So instead of having pulling a big database off the shelf, it's got hundreds of features that mostly you won't use. We're just going to have this. We've got the simple storage engine, and you bring in these features that you need to build your data store, whether it's replication, MapReduce, or rest of them. So that's why this is so exciting, because these are the basic components, but there's a bunch of really clever people that are developing these great add-ons, plugins that extend it so that you can create data stores that are customized to your application.
Can you talk a bit about when you would use it, or more specifically when you wouldn't use LevelDB?
If you really wanted SQL, you wouldn't use it. Look, at the moment, I guess we're still, the ecosystem of plugins is still developing. So if you care a lot about availability and redundancy, then there is some projects that are being developed that will do master-slave replication. I think Dominic's doing at the moment, and some other cool stuff that Uniform is working on for RumorsDB. I'll let Dominic talk about that. But there's at the moment, if you needed high availability, LevelDB only works on a single process. You can only access it with one process at a time, and so that's, for most people, that's where it falls down as a useful tool. But give it a little while, and there's some really cool plugins that are coming along. There's one by Julian Gruber, who's going to be here tomorrow. No, it's not going to be here about an hour. He's got an interesting project called Multilevel. And what that does is it exposes the LevelUp API over a network or any other kind of stream. So you can have, you can even operate in the browser, but you can have a LevelDB instance in one node process exposed to many through the same API as I've just shown you over the network. So that's the kind of thing that's being developed at the moment, where the single process thing is starting to not be such a problem. I'm not sure I have that's a great answer for your question, but hopefully it's given you.
How extensively are Google using this today, do you know? What are they using it for?
Well, Chrome is the main thing, but they're still using their big table stuff for most of the things they do. So LevelDB within Google, I think, is mainly limited to Chrome, and I think a lot of Android stuff, because LevelDB works on Android, and it's the ideal data store for Android as well. Oh, sorry, IndexedDB. So yeah, when you're doing local storage and IndexedDB operations, you're using LevelDB. And I think it's used a lot more settings and a few other things now. I wish Paolo was here, because he's got a project called Lev that uses LevelUp, that lets you open a REPL to any LevelDB store, and you can actually use it to look inside the Chrome values, the Chrome data stores. And I think there's more than just the IndexedDB stuff in there. I think they're actually starting to use it for settings. But they used to use SQLite, which Apple still uses in iOS and everywhere else. But when it comes to performance, LevelDB just kills it completely. And particularly so in Node. For some reason, I'm not sure the Node wrapper for SQLite is particularly well optimized, but we had some benchmarks that were comparing it to LevelUp, and we had to disable them because it's just so slow that it didn't even come close. So that was one of the main reasons they replaced it in Chrome, because of its speed. It is lightning fast. think I might have taken out a slide about that, but yeah.
You can find the differences between the snapshots. Like if you have a snapshot, it's easy to get the changes.
No, I don't think so. But we don't at the moment. We haven't exposed the snapshots very well in Node. That's a thing that we're still going to do. But if you're using it directly with C++, your read operations, you reference a snapshot. So you say, I've got a snapshot here. I want to get this key on this snapshot. So you give it the snapshot and say, I want to get off this. But if you don't give it a snapshot, it'll be the current one. So if you want to look at differences, then you have to do it manually. But you've got these snapshot references that you just keep around. But the longer you keep them around, the more of a mess the underlying files are, and it becomes a little bit suboptimal. So it's not recommended that you keep snapshots open for too long.
Just quickly, what are the security features that prevent you from mess up, as from the user point of view?
Oh, foot gun stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
Things like if you with optional arguments is one thing. We don't care if you don't give a callback in level up. You can just send it puts and deletes and don't give a callback and just say, oh, I just want that to happen sometime. It'll check that you've got the right types of keys and values. It'll do proper encoding of your values. So if you said this database is going to be storing binary data, I don't think I showed that. I think I did. When you open a database, you say what the default encoding is for the database. And then level up will then check and convert each of your entries. But one of the highest priority for level up has been safety. So anything that we have found that could kill your node process, that's the top priority to address. And there's another release coming out very soon that addresses the last known case where you can do this. But any time anything like that comes up, that's the top priority for that. Second priority is performance, but everything comes after safety. So we don't want interacting with a native layer to kill your node process. So yeah. But the differences between level up and level down are in terms of safety are not as big as they used to be, because level down now has a lot more safety features included in it. It used to be part of the same project, but we split it out into these two projects. And when we split it, it was really raw, and you could use it to do some dangerous things in the process. But there's a lot more safety built into level down now. If you cared about performance and you didn't care about the streams and the other sugar, you could just use level down, and you'd probably be okay.
I think you said it's single process, so do requests just get queued, and is there any prioritization between read and write in queuing?
So it's single process, but it's thread safe. And in Node, we have these worker threads. I think still, as of version 10 of Node, version 0.10, we're still working with a fixed number of worker threads, or 4. It is going to be made more adaptive, but I think we're still dealing with 4 worker threads. There's no prioritization in terms of what gets put in at what time, but because of the way that the scheduling works in LevelDB, you're pretty much guaranteed that they're going to be put in the order that you give them, because the thread scheduling works that way. But still, it's still dealing with the threaded environment, so order is not absolutely